Hey guys, it's Ms. Gleesman. I'm here to give you a brief introduction to the simulation that Ms. Papella and I posted on It's Learning and on Google Classroom. As you can see, I'm here in my office. I have my giant calendar here behind me with all my important dates on it. And then up here you can see my 2 degrees that I have, along with the mess that is my office supplies there. So what I'm going to do is just briefly explain the simulation, model how I solved one of the problems, and then you guys hopefully will take it from there. I am going to post one question that you all need to answer about this simulation. It's not going to be hard, I promise, okay? So just one thing, keep an eye out for that on It's Learning and Google Classroom, and let's get started. So the simulation was created by the CDC. The CDC is an organization that stands for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It's run by the US government, and their only job is to study infectious diseases and other diseases and hopefully be able to find preventions or cures to those diseases. So we thought that would be a relevant thing to introduce you guys to right now. Tomorrow I'm also going to post a introduction with a little video and a news article that introduces you to our next unit, which is environmental science. So keep an eye out for that too, okay? This simulation is going to be a link, and if you follow that link, it will open it up in your web browser. And I'm going to click on the very first thing. In the level 1, it has Breathless in the Midwest. So I'm going to click on Breathless in the Midwest. And you got to accept the mission, and it takes you to clue number 1. Okay? So the way that this works is that you read the clue, and then you scroll down and answer the question at the bottom under the section that says Answer this question. Okay? Now, to help me out, I have next to me a notebook and a pen, because there is not a whole lot of information, but there's a fair amount of details that you might want to remember in order to solve the outbreak. This simulation, the way that you get through it is by thinking like a scientist. So you got to think logically, you got to think through steps that are going to get you the most information most efficiently, and put together clues to solve the problem. Okay, so if you follow that link, I'll walk through the first scenario with you, so that you know how to do the rest of them. And it's going to take you to clue number 1. Okay, so I'm going to read the clue out loud. The first reported case is a 37-year-old musician from Chicago named Zeke. You start by talking to Zeke to find out what he was doing before he got sick. Zeke said that he started coughing and feeling tired shortly after he led a music workshop for 50 students at a Chicago concert hall. He thought he might have picked something up from one of the students in the class, or maybe he caught it 2 days ago on a flight home from a vacation in Africa. Now, in that clue number 1 panel, you see down at the bottom a little magnifying glass with clue. You also see a light bulb that says tip. So I think I need more information, so I'm going to click tip. Now, the tip is you decide to ask Zeke more about his trip to Africa, which is good. You learn that Zeke and several of his friends took a trip to Mali last week. Mali is in Africa. While they were there, Zeke took a side trip to meet a drum maker who taught him how to make djembes, which are African drums made of animal skins and wood. Zeke brought home 4 of the djembes he helped make. Zeke and his friends returned home on the same 20-hour flight. After talking with Zeke's friends, you learn that he's the only one with the high fever, fatigue, cough, chest pain, and difficulty breathing. So, the reason that you have all this information is to think about it scientifically. Zeke is sick. He has a list of symptoms. But he traveled home on a plane with other people who are not sick. He also recently went to an event, a music event where there were lots of people, okay? So at the bottom, if you scroll down, or it may already be there, where it says answer this question. Where do you think Zeke caught whatever made him sick? You're asking yourself, did Zeke catch something from the airplane that he traveled in, or from the workshop he went to full of musicians that had lots of people at it? If you think about what you already know, we're not really sure yet what made him sick. There are several possibilities, but we can't definitively say where Zeke caught the illness. So I'm going to click we don't have enough information. I'm also going to make a note on my notebook. I'm going to write clue number 1, and then I'm going to write airplane and music event, because these are the 2 places that Zeke went that might have made him sick. So that's good information to have. All right, now it looks like I was right. We don't have enough information, so I'm going to click next clue. But there's other stuff at the bottom of the clue number 2 screen that I want you to pay attention to. So there's a button that says data, which tells you the actual data of the sick people that you have. You may also notice the button on the bottom of the clue number 2 that says definition. If you click that button, it's going to tell you the definition of the words in yellow that are in your text in the clue. So in this case, the word anthrax is in yellow. You may not know what the word anthrax means. If you click that button, you'll be able to find out. So using those tools that I just talked about, reading the clue and using the icons at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to answer enough questions to find out where the illness came from that Zeke has, and that will allow you to put preventative measures in place. So now that you guys know how to use this simulation, I want you to try it yourself. Use your notebook to write down information you think you might need to remember, and see how many points you can get. See if you get more than I do. Again, keep your eye out for the Introduction to Environmental Science, which I'm going to post tomorrow. And I miss you guys, and I hope that I see you real soon. Bye-bye.